recording started. So, hey everybody, we are recording. Happy Tuesday team training. It is the end of April. This month is bananas. Who is having so much fun in their business right now? I've just been having so much fun, been talking to so many people today, and it is just blowing up. This company is blowing it out of the water right now. If you guys are on this call and you don't know who I am, my name is Katie Harold, and I'm a Presidential Diamond here in Toledo, Ohio, and I have been with this amazing business going on 7 years next month, and it's just a wild ride, right? Like, it changes every single day, and we're just in such an exciting time right now. The products are different, the way we do the business is different, and things are just exploding. And we have a very special guest on this call right now. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to hear from Jade Hooper, you guys. She's been in the business for 6 years, I think it is, right, Jade? And about 6-ish. And she has an absolutely incredible story. And you guys, she's a top 10 income earner. Okay, she I can't wait to hear her story. I know that she inspires every single one of us every single day. And Jade, I would just love to hear your story from like the very beginning, all the highs and lows. Don't leave anything out. I know the girls are they're on the edge of their seat right now to hear from you tonight.
Hi guys, there literally are people that are like Maddie is like, my phone is ready to go. So you guys, hi, oh my God, it's crazy. It's so crazy. I cannot even believe what is happening right now. So for those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Jade Hooper. I'm an Ambassador Diamond. This is actually my 7th year. So I started in August of 2013. So you started just a little bit before me. And wow. 7 years. I mean, it sounds like forever, but it just goes by so fast. I remember when I got started, and I would see people who are doing this for like 2 years. And I feel like 4 years when I got started was like the longest that people were really like doing this. And that was like, oh God, like people need money for that long. Like, that's crazy, you know? For me, like, my story didn't just begin when I started my business. My story for me, like what shaped me and molded me was when I was like a kid. You know, how many of you guys like feel like what happened when you were a kid really kind of, sometimes it just ends up being duplicated as an adult. My mom was a single mom. She had me when she was 18. I haven't had a dad in my picture my whole entire life. And my mom struggled really, really bad. She like wasn't super maternal either. So that didn't like help any of the decisions that she had made. But I was pretty much raised by my grandparents while my mom worked 3 jobs. You know, it was very normal that when I was with her that we had an empty fridge, or my grandparents would have to buy me like food and you know, pay for my school lunches if they were able to. It was just really, really tough. And so just a combination of seeing how bad we struggled, watching my mom make financial mistakes, just witnessing all of that, it just put me in a position where I didn't ever want to have to rely on anybody else financially. And I knew that as a kid. I realized, like, should you be doing this? Like, cause I don't think we should even be like trying to buy this or like do the things that you're doing here. And so when I graduated high school, and at that point, you guys, I mean, things were really bad for my mom and I. I would come home and the lights would be shut off. My friends were giving me their hand-me-down clothes because I didn't have clothes. I had a friend whose grandma lived like an hour and a half away, and she would take my pants, the same jeans, just every single year over and over and over, and would patch the holes in the butt for me because I couldn't afford clothes. So like she would just literally, like, I'd walk around with little patches all over the butts of my pants. And so I graduated from high school and started working full time. And 6 months later, I met Will Hooper, who I'm married to now. So I was 18 when I met him. I moved out, we moved in together, and I started going to cosmetology school. I always wanted to own my time. I always, like I said before, I wanted to be in control of me. Like, I didn't want to have to rely on anybody, and I didn't want anybody to rely on me. I had goals, I had things that I wanted to do. And so I actually moved out. Will and I met each other 2 weeks later. We moved out and moved in together, and it worked out, obviously. I went to school and as soon as I graduated school, the next day I had a full-time job. And within 6 months, I was a salon manager. And it was just the first time in my life that I have ever lived like paycheck to paycheck, to where on my day off, my grandma and I could go to the Olive Garden and get endless soup and salad. And we could go to TJ Maxx afterwards and go hit up the clearance section, buy something that was less than $10. And that was like living life. It was living life. I'm like, this is good, you know? And so things started to get really crazy as soon as Will and I got married. We got married and we did what married people do. I got pregnant like immediately. And it was shocking. And that was not a part of my plan. Like I never wanted to have kids ever. I never played like dollhouse stuff. Like I never wanted to be a mom. And so when I got pregnant, it was very, very shocking. And it just seemed like at that moment, no, you need to go, buddy. No, you're fine.
No, wait.
What's wrong? What's wrong with your leg? What's wrong with your leg? You're itching?
No, Mom. No,
okay.
Wait.
Can you please go?
No, wait.
You need to go.
Something.
He's having he has night terrors. Can you go? Go, come on.
I need.
You're okay. Go potty, okay? Go pee-pee and put a shirt on. You're okay. Everything's fine. You gotta go, bud. Go potty, okay? Sorry. Yeah. He's getting his molars in, so when he teethes, he has night terrors really bad. All my kids are teething right now. But anyways, so we got married, got pregnant, and then the next month, Will lost his job. He worked construction, so it was very normal for him to get laid off, but he was like laid off, like for good. And it was scary. I mean, it was really, really scary. It was really scary and it was crazy. And it was just scary. Within the first 9 months of me being, okay, hold on. Give me just a second.
Yes, Sam. Real life. No worries.
Okay.
All the moms are loving this, Jade.
Everybody's been touching me today, crying. Okay, so with the first, like while I was pregnant, it was insane. We ended up moving twice before I even had Levi. And then 3 months later, the week of Christmas, we had to move again because we got our first water bill at the apartment that we had moved to and we couldn't afford our water bill. So we had to move. It was crazy. So the week of Christmas, we moved and we didn't have any money. We had no gifts. We had nothing. And I was a mom at that point. Levi was almost 4 months old. And so that was my lowest low. So we lived life like that. I felt sorry for myself. And I thought like, oh, woe is me. Like, this is just how I'm supposed to be. I'm just supposed to be broke my whole entire life. And I spent Levi's literally like the first year of his life living like that, couponing, fighting with Will. I mean, like we were fighting. I was ready to be single mom. Like I grew up with a single mom. I'm not stupid. I know what it's like to be a single mom. I know what it's like to be prepared. And I was ready to do that. And I pretty much just, it was Levi's first birthday. Okay. And so I did the creepy mom thing where you like put them to sleep and you're like, how did you become so old? Like what happened? And I like held this little outfit up and I'm like, what happened to you? Like, how are you here? You know, did the creepy mom thing. And that was just the first time I realized like, if we don't do something, this isn't going to change. Like if we don't, I'm fighting with my husband about money every day. I'm not going to be married if I don't make a change. We don't have a TV. We barely have internet. Like it's so slow. I've canceled all the bills that I can. I'm making homemade laundry soap and doing our like laundry in the bathtub. I'm hanging up sheets in our living room to keep the heat in because I can't turn the heat on in our house. So like, this is not getting better. Like there's no amount of couponing or, you know, promo codes or canceling bills or borrowing money or lottery tickets. Like there's not enough of that to go around that's going to make this like go away or like get better. It's just going to like stay the same and, you know, just get worse. And so I prayed to God. That was the first time I've ever prayed in my life. That night, it was Levi's first birthday. And I was like hands and knees like, okay, what do I need to do? Like, are you there, God? Are you real? It's me, Jade. I don't know if you know me, but I don't know what I did to deserve this, but I'm not a bad person. So what do I need to do? And it was the next day that I I like heard in my heart, right? Like in my soul that I needed to do something from home. And it felt really weird to think that because my mom did other things when I was growing up. She tried to be the Mary Kay lady. I mean, it was just like, looking back and thinking about it, it was just so sad. I wish she would have had social media back then because it really would have changed the game for so many people at that point. And I had actually tried selling makeup and jewelry in the past as well. And so I had to really overcome, like with Will, like, why do you think this is going to work for you? What makes you think this is going to work for you? You've tried stuff before. And I said, well, I wasn't a mom. I wasn't a mom before. I will like stand in, like, I will like run into a fiery building for my kids. So like, you know, like game on. And so I didn't pay my phone bill. I didn't tell Will. I didn't pay her phone bill. I called and was like, it's me again. The next month, call, just make him a phone call, let you know I can't pay. I mean, it was no different than all the other stupid things that I was having to do, sell our stuff while Will was at work. You know, what's the difference? Making one, you know, one more like pride biting moment again. And so I got started, and my goal was to make my PowerPoint presentation for Will minus the PowerPoint was I went and did the math. And I dare you guys to do this. If you guys are working your full-time jobs and I don't know if any of you guys feel like you need to go. I get told, people come to me and say all the time, I've been doing this for 7 years, and I've enrolled over 1,000 distributors. Okay, since I've gotten started, my team is over 100,000 people have been on my team. And the amount of people that come to me and tell me, like, I just need motivation. Like, no one holds a gun to my head to build my business. Like, I'm doing it because if someone was holding a gun to my kid, I'd be willing to go in front of them and take that bullet for them. So that's very scary. That's a very intense thing. So messaging people is very minuscule when you look on the gauge, right, of like what you're willing to do for your kids or whatever you got started. And so my PowerPoint presentation that I was trying to like convince Will that I could do this was I went and I figured out how much money I actually was making at my job and the cost of getting there. And I'm talking like the childcare, which like takes away pretty much your whole entire paycheck at the end of the day. The gas, which was insane. I was driving so much. Cause I was a hairstylist. So the tools and the clothes and all that kind of stuff. And on a good month, I had $150 on a good month. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, you're telling me I'm handing my baby over to someone who does not love them as much as I do and bawling my eyes out to work, trying to pump and eat on the toilet and pee at the same time. Okay. Like literally like this, and like looking at pictures of my baby so I could have a letdown, and then trying to leave as soon as I could and haul him butt to go pick him up at 11 o'clock at night to go home. I'm doing that for $150. Like, I will eat grass if I can just be home with my kid. Like, I knew what it was like to grow up without your mom being there. I didn't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't need the motivation. No one has to come up here and motivate Jade. It's because I grew up without a mom. I don't need motivation. I already know what bad looks like. I grew up without food in my, I don't need the motivation. I already know what's on the other side of that. Do you know what I mean? So you guys, I was like, well, crap, I mean, I'm going to make $200. Like $200 is my goal. If I can do that, I can be home. I just need to make up the $150 that I'm making. I did it in my first week. The next month, I doubled that. 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 And within 5 months, I replaced my full-time income. And I worked hard. I didn't sleep. I don't know if I showered, but 4 times a month. Will said when I went ambassador that he could smell me from far away. And I was like, oh, that's news. I didn't know that. But the question was it worth it? Yes. There will never be a point in your business, you guys. I think that's another thing. I don't want to do how many of you, be honest. Please be honest with me when I say this. How many of you guys have been afraid to like do more because you're afraid, what if I do all this and it's for nothing? Everybody, we all have said that. What if I do all this and it's not enough? What if I do all this and it's for nothing? But here's the thing. When you have a compensation plan, okay, that's the difference. We don't necessarily get paid for like hourly pay. Like, you're kind of giving a lot without like a lot in return yet. It's kind of like a plant, you know, when you plant a seed under the ground, you can't see what's going on. Like, the roots have to go down first before everything else can go up. So you're going to give a lot, and there's going to be a lot happening kind of underneath before it starts to spring up. But if you quit before it springs up, you're building someone else's business. You know what I mean? So like, if you're really giving it all you've got, if you're truly giving it all you've got and you're doing just the things that are going to make you money, there's no way that it's actually possible for you to give all of this and not get what you want in return. The problem is because you're afraid that if you give all this and you won't get this, now you're not giving this. And that's why you're not getting what you want. It's because you're not giving to begin with. You're self-sabotaging yourself. You're like, well, I don't know if it's enough, so I'm just not going to give enough then. And if I get a little bit, then that'll be a sign that I'm going to get some. But that's not how it works when you're in business for yourself. Hear me when I say that. It's not possible. If you would have told me when I was like, I don't know, it was like month 1 or 2, you guys, I had 2 people on my team. In 5 months, okay, I replaced my full-time income. I was making over $2,000 a month, okay, in 5 months. But if you would have told me for the first 2 months that was going to happen, I would have been like, how? I remember starting and the highest person that was on my team was going diamond that month. So she wasn't even diamond yet. Like the highest people were just rubies. And I remember her telling me that she was going to go diamond. And this was my up line. And I looked at the diamond chart and I pulled it out. And I just remember being like, how am I supposed to go from where I am right now to that? That is so many people. How am I supposed to do that? And I remember just putting that, like tucking that under something. And I was just like, just one person at a time. I'm just going to concentrate on one, or else I'm going to be so overwhelmed by this bigger picture of how the hell that this big picture is even supposed to happen that the one's not even going to happen. Do you know what I mean? So you guys got to make some decisions, because you're going to have to make these changes. You're going to have to look at things from a different perspective if you truly want to do what you got to do. Because I got to tell you right now, if you give it all you got and you do it consistently, I'm telling you, do it consistently for 6 months. You're gonna be like, what? Like, why didn't I do this before? Because we want you have to have the horse before the cart, almost. Like it's opposite. Like the world teaches us differently, but you've got to have the work collar before you can have what's going to carry the rest of it, because it's going to come a little later. Does that make sense? It's going to be a little different. Now that I've talked for 19 minutes straight, it's just a gift I have.
No, I love it. I mean, I think that just even having your son come in, all the moms were like, this is everything, like just the realness of it. So you got started, you went diamond in 5 months and you saw some success quickly and were able to replace your income. So what did it look like, after those first 5 months to on up to ambassador? And like, tell us a little bit of that story, getting to where you're at today, and like, what were some of the biggest obstacles that you had in those past 7 years, and how did you overcome some of those things?
That's a really good question. So I think it was, I feel like the end of September to the beginning of October of just beginning of my business was like a very big point in my business, because that was the first time that I had ever been introduced to personal development. And I feel like, so I don't know about you guys, so I was raised by my grandma, okay? So when my mom had me, she was like 42, like she was pretty young, but I was raised by her. So I had her traditions and like old school thinkings, like, oh, people do self-help, or people go to a shrink. And that was like taboo, like when we would see Oprah, like Oprah's book club, and like the Men Are From Venus, whatever that book is, or like when The Secret came out, and like they would like talk bad about people who want to go up in life, because that's just like stupid, and who does that? So when I came into It Works and I heard Pam Souter talking about on the Sunday Night Family call, or maybe it was even the Show Me the Money call, talk about, like The Secret and how what you say is what you get and all this stuff. And I didn't know what that was. I heard about it from the Oprah thing. And I was like, well, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to be successful. So like, I'll watch it. And I remember watching it being like, this is the dumbest stuff I've ever heard in my life. But as the movie progressed, I was like, God, like, what if this is real? And so the next day I was like, whatever, they say that I just gotta envision the car I'm driving and envision my promotions and envision the people coming and just be positive. I'm gonna do it. And I went all in. I mean, I have somewhere, I have the papers that I wrote. I mean, I found them when we moved. The papers that I wrote, and I'm talking like head to toe, my ceiling, like Will walked in the house after working a 16-hour shift with the railroad. He walked in our kitchen wall and was like, what did you join that you have like paying off this and buying that, and I'm positive and I make money and all this debt's paid off and I'm crazy and all this stuff. And he thought I like lost my mind, but I mean, I was just so in for it. And it's crazy because once you start to do that, you start to change. Like you feel it in your soul when you're positive. Literally someone could come pee on my leg and I'd be like, thank you. Cause you just learn like crap, like what you say is what you're going to get. Someone be nothing but good and happy and healthy and like prosperous. You know what I mean? So I made that decision in probably late September, early October. And so there was a lot of the whole like seed growing down before it came up first. And so truly when I made that decision, regardless of what my results looked like, so I wasn't working based upon my results. I was working based upon what I wanted. From that point forward, I just did the exact same thing every day, all the time, always, forever, regardless of what it looked like. So everything just snowballs. It just continues to snowball as long as you're consistent and you find your pace. But like how hard you're working is how much your snowball is going to grow. So if you're only working at 30%, like have fun with 30% results. Some of you guys want like other people's results, but they're literally giving blood, sweat, and tears. Like I was underneath the covers in the middle of the night following people on Instagram. It'd be 4:00 in the morning and Will would come home and be like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm just following people, like, leave me alone, because I didn't want to wake Levi up because I was co-sleeping. But like, are you doing that? Is this keeping you up at night? Or like, are you allowing yourself to go to that place to believe that you can have and do anything that you want to? I'm telling you, if you guys just did, it's just, anybody can do what I did. You have to be willing to. But I just knew that the results were going to come because I saw other people do it. And so if they did it, I believe that I could too. Because like, why not, right? And so that's what I did. I mean, when it came to overcoming things, anything that you guys have had, you are facing, will face, or have faced, I have faced those things. And maybe even like on like another higher level too. Because with every new level, there's a new devil. So like maybe, when you first got started in your business, you had to deal with your people who you knew talking crap about you. Well, when I went ambassador and I'm a top 10 money earner, now all of a sudden the people who are talking crap about it and being mean to me, it's people who are even closer to me. And then it gets even closer and closer and closer. I like to explain it to my team that when I call it unsucking yourself. Before you joined this business, you sucked. You had a bad attitude. You made bad decisions. We aren't just broke because the world hates us. We're broke also because of the decisions that we make. You know that you shouldn't have bought XYZ, but you felt like you were entitled to a moment of happiness with that $5. And so you didn't spend it wisely because you thought, it's just $5, right? I mean, I've been there. So I'm saying this, I've been there. And so it's just learning that you're not entitled to happiness. You can just earn it, and it's forever. It's not a moment of happiness, it's forever. So you have to unsuck yourself. And so when you get into this business, you kind of start to realize that your life is like a bucket or a hole, and in your hole there's a chain, and the higher you go, the more links kind of get exposed from the ground, and each link is kind of more and more skeletons that are in your closet or limiting beliefs. And so the higher you go, the more limiting beliefs that are exposed, but those limiting beliefs are things that you can get over. It's the limiting beliefs of like, I can't do this, I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, people like me can't be successful, what are people going to think about me, what if I'm selfish, what kind of person am I if I want this kind of money that's more than what I want? Why would people believe me, or just whatever. So every new level you go, there are going to be other things that you're going to have to deal with. So when I went ambassador, I like I said, I had to deal with it all. When I got to ambassador, I had pulled links out of my closet that when I first started, I didn't have to deal with my limiting beliefs of relationships. But after going ambassador, not having a man in my life, and when there was a man in my life, he was a monster. And so I had a really messed up like way of thinking of like how relationships were. And so after I went ambassador, I had to deal with that. I actually had to face that in order to conquer it so I could get to the next level of my marriage was not good at all. Like I didn't know how to be in like a healthy marriage because I wasn't raised with that. I didn't know what that was like. And so, And so, am I still there? Sorry, someone logged into my Zoom. It kicked me out. But there's just a lot of things I had to deal with. There was a time where I had all this success, so I became a top 10 money earner, like fast, like a year and a half. And then I like stopped to smell the roses. And then all of a sudden I started realizing like the haters, when you're not running anymore, you don't hear the wind anymore. You stop. And so things are calm and you can hear things a little more clearly. And all of a sudden I started realizing people who had a problem with what I was doing. And so I started to get very self-conscious of my success. And I started to feel like I didn't deserve it. That like imposter syndrome, like why would someone like me deserve something like this? I know I earned it, but like, do I actually deserve it? Kind of thing. I mean, I deal with that to this day because I'm just such a normal person. I'm still walking into my gifts. So, I mean, I don't know. There's just been a lot, and it's forever changing. It's forever, I'm up leveling. So there's always every day, and the biggest one most recently was just overcoming my limiting beliefs that now that I have 3 kids and now that I'm older and things just look so different than what they did the first time around, as how am I supposed to do this again kind of thing. Like, how am I supposed to get to ambassador again? And I let that hold me back. The fear, just like what I said to you guys, I let the fear of how am I supposed to do this because I have all this blah. How am I supposed to do that? But what was crazy is we went to Costa Rica and as like a top income earner retreat, and we came back and we had like a recap Zoom, and you guys can actually watch that recap Zoom, and you're literally going to witness me like going through like this self-discovery and overcoming my limiting beliefs while I'm like narrating this whole entire Zoom. I mean, it was incredible. It was the best Zoom of my life. It was such a life-changing Zoom. And I just made that decision from that point that I'm just going to do it. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm not going to let being a mom of 3 kids that are busy and crazy and touching me, and like that I am enough to be a great mom, a great wife, a great child of God, a great niece, still take care of myself, that I can do all the things and still be a great leader, a great business person, and do all of those things. It was just a choice. And so from that moment, I mean, my 2.0's like volume has quadrupled just because I decided to stay consistent with it every single day, long-term, and just give it all that I've got. And I'm still a great mom and like maintain some sanity. And I just do the best that I can. But it's just that commitment, if that makes sense.
Yes. Okay. I love that you talked about like the chains, because we're not the same person when we join. It's like you uncover so much of yourself and what you're capable of and what you have to give, you know? Okay. So you mentioned, being a good mom. So originally I had this like towards the end of my questions, but let's address that for a second, because I want you guys to drop in the chat if you're a mom. Jade, I would say like, I won't speak for everybody because I am not a mom, but I would say about 90% of the ladies on here right now have at least one. I know some that have 4. Jade, I know you have 3. And so especially in this time right now where there's no school and, you've just got your kids home 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
If you could just address the mom guilt, because I know for some right now, it's like, it's heavy.
Well, if you have mom guilt, it's because you're looking for problems. You're literally looking for a reason for there to be a problem. Okay. If you're like, it's just kind of, if I wanted to look for reasons to not work my business, I could find them. It could be a dirty house. It could be that closet that I've been ignoring for 8 years. All of a sudden I got to clean the closet because I'm just trying to keep myself busy because I'm avoiding the thing that I need to take care of because I don't know how to tackle it. I don't know what I'm doing. Does that make sense? Have you guys realized that? Like, you're just like sitting there and it's almost harder to not work your business. It's more effort to find to figure out how to be more busy with other things than it is to just work your business. It's a real thing. So you don't have mom guilt. Your kids drive you freaking nuts every single day. You don't feel guilty. You want to go lock yourself in a closet and get 5 minutes of breathing space while eating a Kit Kat and not having to share it is what you want to do. You need 5 minutes. How many of you guys need just 5 minutes? So we feel bad. You don't really necessarily feel bad. You're just wondering how to navigate it. Okay. So what I've learned to do is that this is my job. Okay. And so I look at this as best and worst case scenarios. Worst case scenario is that I would have to go, now let's say coronavirus wasn't here. Worst case scenario is if I wanted to make extra money, I would have to leave my family and go work at Target part-time, or go work at the salon part-time, or go do whatever part-time, right? And I would be away from my kids, but I get to do it with them. I get to do it while they're playing. I get to do whatever. So this is my full-time job. This pays for everything for me. And even if it doesn't for you, treat it like it does, and it will at some point. Okay. So I wake up in the morning, I do a couple things before I even get started with my day. And then I go out into the jungle. It's like Jumanji at my house. I go out and I like take care of business. I feed and whatever they got to do, set TV up and stuff, whatever. And then at 9:00, I start my business day. That is when I start my day. So like Levi starts his homeschool stuff, and I start my day, and then it's just kind of like, like we Hunger Games it here. So you're going to go do you, and I'm going to go do me. And they're running around and they're screaming and they're doing all this stuff, but I'm working while I'm doing it. I am voice messaging my team, my new people, whatever, while they are screaming behind me. And in fact, it makes them feel better to hear that, so they know that they're not alone. And then like when people go take naps, then I'm doing a little bit more like hardcore, very, very intentional stuff. So I'm just working all day long. And then at about 4:00, even when school's in session, by 4:00 is when they come home. And that's really, honestly, and I didn't used to do this before, and it's whatever you're willing to do. This is what you're willing to do. I'm very intentional with the time that I do have specifically to work. So then from about 4 or 5, I am 4 or 5 until bedtime, until about 8:00. I'm with my family. I've got my phone plugged in because it's probably dead. I've got my phone plugged in, charging. We are feeding the beasts. We're bathing them. We're having family time. We're watching a movie. We're whatever, picking up, doing whatever. And then once they go to bed, I give myself, sometimes they go to bed at like 7 or 7:30, just depends, because my kids get up so freaking early. So they go to bed early. And so I will give myself until 8:00. So if they go to bed at 7:30, I give myself 30 minutes to watch Jeffree Star on YouTube. It's just like a guilty pleasure. I can't help it. So anyways, I give myself a little bit of wiggle room to just BS around. I also give myself wiggle room in the morning until 9 to BS. So that's when I'm talking to a friend, catching up, whatever. But then at 9 until like 4-ish, 5, that's when I'm doing my like business stuff, and it's very intentional. And then once 8:00 rolls around, it's time to hop in and do business. I built my whole business pretty much from like 9 at night until 3:00 in the morning. So that's when I sold products, enrolled people, built, networked, all that kind of stuff, because moms are up. So, you just make it work. Now, if you're like saying you're going crazy, we all are, but it's not going to go away. The only way to get through it is to just get through it. You can't avoid it. You can't over strategize. Like, you can't overthink it. You've got to just like hop in and just like do your best. I go to bed very tired. Every single night I'm pouring into my team. I'm on a Zoom. So at 9:00 every single night, minus the one night a week that is date night. Because like I said, I didn't grow up having a healthy relationship stuff. And so Will and I do a date night once a week. So that way it really fills his cup. It makes him, know that he's very, very important, because it's so easy to get consumed in this business. And so we pencil in the things that are important to us. I'm going to pencil him in just like I would a Zoom. So he knows that he's important, and oh my God, it's great. So we normally have it on Thursday. That's the end of the month. So we switched it to Monday. So last night I plugged my phone in, got some of my leaders on. We ate chicken nuggets from McDonald's that I got at lunchtime for my kids, because that's how we left the house and busted out of jail here. And I had cheddar popcorn, and we watched an Adam Sandler movie, and it was great. It was great, because I know that we're going to roll right into the end of the month and the beginning of next month too. So I don't know, I basically, I'm with my family and I work my business, and I self-tan on Sundays. That is my self-care. And I just, and we just go. Cause right now I don't think in 7 years now, I had crazy huge growth. My first year, so I joined in August. So that following January I was a ruby. By November, I was a presidential diamond, and we had crazy growth at that point, but not like this. Not like this space. This is like really, really something. My team's volume has gone up almost 500,000 since last month. alone. I'm like, do you guys know what's going to happen if we keep this up? Like, oh my God. So right now is just special. It really is special. It is a gift. And of course, like any of you guys, if any of you have been affected by the coronavirus, like directly with people being sick and stuff like that, I am very, very sorry. However, with every door closed, there is one opened, and there is such opportunity. And you've got it. You just, it's all about your perspective. If you want it to be bad, it will be bad. If you want it to be good, you can find the good. You know what I mean?
Oh, heck yeah. That was so good. That covered like multiple bases of like the questions that the girls wanted to know. It's funny that you started talking about right now, because I have a couple of questions about right now, because, you know, we've been on some of our leadership calls with Cami and some of the Diamond Above calls and some of the top leader calls about how, like, you don't even know what's about to happen when this pandemic comes to, I don't want to say comes to an end, but you know what I mean, when things start slowly going back to normal. Like, it's already getting crazy, and I don't think we expected it to get this crazy this fast, but it is, like you said, with your team volume. So Jade, what is reaching some serious promotions look like? I mean, for you, I mean, I know that you only had 2 at home when you're reaching some big promotions. Now you have 3. Like, what is this going to look like? Because we have some people that just joined last week. We have some people that have been with us for a while, and it's about to get crazy up in here. And I would love for you to talk about, like, what does promotion season look like when you've got kids at home?
Well, even without, I mean, it doesn't matter what you've got at home. I mean, you could have 12 kids and live in a shoe. Like, it does that regardless. That's your life. Like, your life is your life. So that's just is what it is. So when you're looking at the business side, what's possible? Like, what can you actually do? I know some people are like, I don't know, I'm just like selling some coffee. I'm like, I don't really know what's possible. So, you know, you guys, we have we have average ranks, right? And there's like average incomes, and you have the opportunity to like grow a team and like promote and do big things. So for me, when I got started, now we're very digital, and I'm really hoping, I'm like crossing my fingers that at some point maybe we like have like an e-magazine with stories, but you guys are going to hear stories just like mine. Katie said that you guys have been listening to stories every week. When I joined, I didn't know like what was possible. We were just broke. So I just wanted a couple $100s. I mean, I didn't, whatever. And I was never asked to dream, like never once in a like a hiring meeting was I like, well, they're like, well, let's dream big. Like, do you want a car or what? No, they don't care. They just tell you what you're worth. Right. And so when I joined, I got a magazine called Success from Home, okay? And I opened it up, and there's all these stories from like It Works people making like all sorts of money and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, I'm not like that person. I'm not like that person. I'm not like her or her or her or her. But all of a sudden I landed on this girl who was freaking 18 years old, 2 kids. She had them when she was 16, and she was a presidential diamond. And I was like, okay, hold on. I'm 23, okay? And I have 1 kid, and she has 2 kids, and she had her kids when she was young. So if she can do this, then maybe I can do that. And it just like, oh my God, I have chills. It lit my soul on fire. I'm like, okay. All right, now I'm seeing what's possible. So like, it's just too blah to say anything is possible, but you guys, you got to go make a dream board. You've got to like investigate. You got to go see the people who are diamonds and doubles and triples and presidentials. Go look at the homes that they live in. Go look at the cars that they're able to buy. Go look at them buying their groceries. Promoting season means like earning bonuses. Oh my God. Oh God, at our first conference, I was at the Discovery Center with Will and Levi, and I saw that we had Mark announced a $10,000 bonus, and I'm like, oh my God, like it's just so much money. I mean, this is like a sure thing scratch off ticket, right? Like everybody plays the lottery hoping they'll win, but this is something that you can earn, that you can do it yourself. And I think that actually scares people. So promoting season for me is just this opportunity to dive into something, to be, how many of you guys want to be more? Like, I didn't just want to be a mom. I didn't just want to be someone's wife or someone's mom. I'm there. I just felt it in my soul that I was supposed to do something. And those are very special things. Awesome. But there is more to me than just like, I've not been through the things I've been through in my life to just be a mom and a wife, because then what happens when my kids go, like, what am I doing? I wanted to make some sort of impact. Right. And so you guys just have this opportunity to make a crazy amount of income. I mean, I've made so much money every month where I was just like, oh my God, this is like more than double what Will and I together would make in a year. This is crazy. And then you just like high five each other because it's awkward and you don't really know what you're doing. Like, it's just crazy. I mean, just dream. So if you were making $1 million a month, let's say in a crazy, like fun, if you were making $1 million in a month and you had no limits, nothing, what would you have? What kind of home would you live in? What kind of car would you drive? How would you feel when you woke up in the morning? What kind of bed sheets would you have? I didn't even have a bed growing up, guys. I slept on a futon. And then before that, I slept on an air mattress. And did you know that you can sleep on them long enough that before they deflate, the little like rivets that go in, there's like a piece of plastic that connects those to like suck them down. Those let go. So I was sleeping on a mattress that had huge bubbles and stuff in it. I mean, like I've been there, you guys. So what kind of soap would you buy? I mean, oh my God, I stayed at my friend Cassie's house when I was a sophomore and her mom bought her Bilush soap. And I'm like, I'm so live. My grandma buys me. Like, this is life. So what kind of things would you want to have if you could, even the littlest things, Tide soap, Venus razors, like what kind of things, if you had wiggle room to not be selfish, would you want? Put it on a piece of paper and slap it all over your house. Like, these are my things. Like, guys, like, don't waste the ink, okay? But a swing set, you know what I mean? Like, these are the things that I wanted, just these simple little things, but you guys can have those things if you're willing to just work hard and be consistent. Are you willing to just not watch TV? I canceled my cable. It's gone. It's been gone for like 2 months. Are you willing to cancel your cable? I give you permission to go all in. So that means I give you permission to take care of your family, give your spouse some loving, and then just go like balls to the wall with this business. And I dare you to do it for 6 months. And you're going to be like, I have an $8,000 paycheck. I don't know what's happening. Insert income disclosure, because like it's different for everybody. But I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, it was 8 months in this business. I paid off $30,000 worth of debt. And the next month I bought a house, my first house. I was 24. I never even know. My mom still doesn't. My mom's going to be 50 this year. She still has never owned her own house. And I was able to buy my first home. And I felt so bad. I felt so guilty. I bought that house. It was a nice house. It wasn't like a starter house. It was just like a nice house, had bolted ceilings. And I bought I mean, have you guys ever rented before? Renting sucks. You got to pay first month's rent, last month's rent, security deposit, and then you're supposed to eat at the same, and then you got to like deposit crap for like cable and water and all this stuff, and then you have nothing. You're like, can't eat. I don't know. You're like borrowing money. We bought a house and a couch and a TV and some bedding stuff and paid our bills. Like, it was insane. And it was just like more than enough. You know, one of my new distributors, I don't have my phone because it's charging. One of my new distributors messaged me and she's like, can I just ask you a question? What does one even do with $24,000 a month? Like, what do you do with that? And she didn't even know what a dream board was. She's like, what's a dream board? And I said, well, if you had more than enough. I mean, we don't think about that, because we don't even have enough. So like, just like enough is like, you know, so promoting season means that you work so hard doing something you do not understand to end up with more than enough. And that is crazy, because people don't do that. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about having more than enough. People tell you to like be happy for what you've got. There's someone who lives life worse than you. Well, like, cool, you know, but you know, like there's Kim Kardashian and like Kylie Jenner, who's 12 and like is a billionaire. So like, if they can do that and we breathe like the same air and stuff, and you know, like we all poop. So
I love it.
You know,
I love it. I love that you said like you basically just don't know what you're doing for like a couple of months and you like black out and then you come out of it and you've made all this money and you're like, what just happened?
Well, and it's work. Like, I mean, I cry every day. Like, I cry every day because I'm just like, I don't know what's going to happen. And then sometimes I'm crying because I'm like, it's happening. This is crazy. I mean, I've cried every single day since the middle of this month to the end, because there's just so many promotions and so many things happening. And it's just so exciting. And to see people just like people who are messaging me, selling samples and like being able to pay for Easter because of that. And people who all of a sudden their husbands got laid off before they even knew that it was going to like happen, but they went diamond. And then because their husbands got pushed off, they went pushed even harder. And then they got their husbands to diamond. And then they ended up going double just because they went balls to the wall and they were willing to believe. It's just like, I mean, it's so emotional. Cause I remember that. I mean, I remember getting my paycheck and showing Will that it was $6,000 and, you know, it impacted him then. I mean, it wasn't just replacing me, like my income. It was impacting him not having to work overtime. I mean, it wasn't just affecting me. It was the income was starting to outward affect other people around me. You know, it wasn't just me feeling good about myself anymore. I mean, it was just really making an impact. So, you know, that's what's possible.
Oh, I love it. I know everybody's so excited right now because we're in like the middle of that, right? Like there's some people that have already promoted this month, and there's some people that are working on their promotions, and they're feeling that. One of the things that the girls wanted to know was, you know, what are your daily musts? I know you use your Productive app. I know some of the girls, we've talked about it, but you are like obsessing over that app. But, you know, obviously you've got some chaos going on around you every day, so you've got to be focused. What are just a few of your daily musts? If you're like, okay, today, if anything, this is what I got to do.
Well, I just do what's on the Productive app. There's no like not doing it. That's just and I have the Productive app just because I'm losing my mind all the time. Everybody's touching me and I can't pee alone. Like I can't think because there's just so much stuff going on. So I just whip it out and I'm able to be like, okay, it's morning. So have you guys never been like, what am I doing? Okay, what am I doing right now? I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing. So like, I say that a lot, like, what did I come in this room for? Like, I don't know why I'm here. So when I pull out the app and I know it's morning time and it goes off at the certain time it's supposed to, I'm like, it's morning. So I'm going to go, okay, I got to go put this in my stories. I'm going to go this on my page. Okay, good. And then noon time comes and then I got to go put whatever. And then I got to do that. So it keeps me on track. So that way it kind of helps me think when like there's all the chaos and stuff going on. And now it's really just second nature, but it's just, oh my God, like what a tool to set great habits. I mean, I'm building my business. Like I will not go to bed until I have posted, messaged, follow up, grew my network, and trained my team. There's just, so I don't go to bed. Like, and I mean, and if it's been I'm going to be super honest with you. Like if it's been a crazy day, I mean, it'll be 10 o'clock and I'll go drink some coffee and I will message my team to say who can work right now because I'm going to hop on a working Zoom. And I put myself in the position to be in front of other people so I make myself work because I just can't. I refuse. I've spent too much time, you guys. Like I have an incredible income. Okay. So like I could just not work if I did not want to, but that's just not acceptable to me because there's just too much there. I have too much that I'm supposed to do in my life. Like I'm not done. I was only doing this for 7 years and over 100,000 people got started. So like, what about the next 100,000 people? If I stop, that's not serving. Right. So, I spent way too much time just feeling sorry for myself, counting myself out, telling myself all the reasons why I'm not going to be successful, and it's just not an excuse. And so I will be, I just stay up tired. I do it tired, but I get it done. I try my best every single day. I mean, truly, you guys know, I don't need to ask, you guys know when you go to bed feeling guilty because you didn't do what you should have done today. And it was because of fear or like, whatever. And that's a crappy feeling. That's why people quit, but you're doing it to yourself. It's just stupid. Like just do the things that you need to do and go to bed proud. Be like, wow, this was a good day. Like I feel like we kind of just naturally always feel like we should be doing better. We could be doing better, but I mean, I'm throwing myself in, I'm giving myself permission to throw myself into my business and my family. So like, I know I mommed hard today. You guys, not only did my son come down here crying, my kids went to bed dirty. Straight up, I'm pretty sure Lucy has lip gloss all over her face. I'm not kidding you. So does Lennox because she drew on their faces. They're dirty. It just had like, they're surviving. There's no homeschool this week. Like, it's just, and it's okay. And they're not going to die. But I'm like mom and hard. We played outside. I like enrolled 8 people today, 8 distributors, and I don't know how many customers. We're just like doing the things and we're making moves. And so as long as they're like sanitary-ish and fed and happy, and my husband's good, and like, and then we're good, and yeah.
I love that so much. I think you just gave so many moms like permission to just like ease up a little bit, like just relax just a little bit. Like if they go to bed with lip gloss all over them, like they're going to be alive. Okay. So I think that was really good. Okay. This is just a quick question that I know I will get asked later. So it's just a short question. Where do you like, or where do you find that you find most of your distributors? Is it just from you going down the line and asking people on Instagram? Have you been doing TikTok? Because that's a question that I get a lot of. Where do these top leaders find their potential distributors? I know obviously being in for 7 years, it's like they can come from anywhere, but.
Well, I'm just, yeah, like all sorts of places. I mean, you got to think like, so over time, when you enroll distributors, it's you have to understand that you might find some people that'll join in like 2 weeks to maybe like a month, but it's a process. And so for most people, it could be like 3 to 6 months of you following up, sharing your story, sharing your team's story, ask them to hop on an opportunity Zoom. You're basically overcoming their limiting beliefs. Does that make sense? So for those of you guys who are in the middle of having a conversation with a potential and they say, I don't have time, I don't know anybody who would want to do this, people won't support me, what if I don't sell anything, what if I fail, blah, 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 blah. These are just limiting beliefs. And so the goal is that as a good distributor, someone who knows what they're doing, they just have to know how to overcome those. So don't stop at the limiting beliefs. Quit feeling sorry for yourself because someone's spitting out all this stupid stuff that doesn't matter. There's excuses. Yeah, that doesn't matter. But you just have to know as a distributor, as a good distributor, that this is a part of the process and that on the other side of that is the enrollment. Okay. And so I've just been here for 7 years. Like I have people who I talked to 2 years ago, 2 months ago, 2 days ago, whatever, who are joining me now. And so I build my business. So I post on Facebook, I post on Instagram. I have my Instagram stories filter over to my Facebook. I'm getting host to post up. Is it perfect? Hell to the no. It is just not perfect. I'm barely like, guys, I'm not writing people down. I wish I bought a freaking planner and the dumb thing doesn't start until July. So I can't even use it right now. It's very annoying. I am just trying. I'm there. I'm working. I'm doing whatever I can. However much I can, I'm doing what I can. I'm going to bed proud of myself. So just everywhere. Now if you're starting, but like, who cares about me? Because maybe you guys haven't been doing this for 7 years. So like, let's answer for you. Wherever you got to find them. Okay. So you can, if you feel more comfortable starting with host to post, do host to post about your life, post about the products. While you're talking to someone about the products, know how to insert in the business. Know how to flip the script into the business. Hey, PS, by the way, side note, have you ever thought about doing this business because you'd be good at it? It's literally what I say to everybody. You just have to know how to insert the business. Maybe you go out there and you message people. Hey, girl, I just checked out your page. I think you'd be great at this. Have you ever thought about it? Or whatever. But you've got to talk about it at some point with them specifically. So you can do, I don't care where you do it. I don't care. Like Facebook, Instagram, you can do TikTok. TikTok is hard. It is not necessarily a duplicatable system. I can't come here and give you steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because I got a girl that's, oh my God, her videos are so funny. She's one of my presidential diamonds. Her videos are so freaking funny, but they have not gone viral. I've had 2 or 3 of my videos get over 1 million views for like the dumbest thing. And I don't make as many videos as her. It's just stupid. But yet I don't have a bunch of messages. And I have another girl who has an influencer application. She has over 400 of them filled out from TikTok, and her videos maybe get 1,000 views each. Do you know what I'm saying? So like, that's not even like a duplicatable thing. A sure thing is you messaging people. That's a for sure thing. It is not a for sure thing that your posts are going to show up to people. It is not a for sure thing that your polls are going to show up to people on your stories. But what is a sure thing always is you and what you are doing. So you go to the people. You do not wait for them to come. to you. And honestly, they come through following up forever till they die or they block you.
I love it. I love that you just said you go to the people, because that's the one thing that you can control is.
Yeah, because I'm not attractive. I'm not over here taking I'm not cute. Like I'm not on the beach. I don't do my makeup. I don't even own foundation. Okay. And so like, I'm not cute. So I have to have something going for me. I'm going to show up in your DMs. That's what's for sure. My algorithm may not be great, but it doesn't have to be great, because the algorithm, algorithm doesn't affect my fingers. You know what I'm saying? So like, you got to go to the people. And this is the thing. If you message people, even if they say nothing, that's good, because they're going to go look at your page and say, who is this? Why is she, what is she even talking about? So I don't care if they answer, because when I message them, they are going to go look at my page and they will see all about Jade. They're going to see what Jade ate. Jade's funny. Jade's got kids. Jade's got dogs. Jade's got Will. Jade's making coffee. They're going to learn all about me through my stories, but it starts with me messaging them so they can go be nosy. So you've got to give them something to be nosy about.
Ooh, I love that so much. I know that we always talk about like showing your face and your voice and being visible in your stories. And like, Jade, I won't lie, I think it was yesterday you were going to hide in the camper, and I was like, oh, what's her camper like? Oh, that's cool. And like, I'm like looking into your life because you're just showing.
Well, and even I do it, like I told you guys, I have imposter syndrome. So I know that I've done great things, but this is just my normal now. And I mean, it's been 7 years. So this is my normal now. And it's hard even for me to remember that people don't even know we have a boat. I don't talk about it, but I have to. It's a part of my story, because me saying I have this, that might be, you guys may be like, oh my God, I just want that so bad. That's the one thing that I want. And damn, I'm going to get that now because she has that. And so we have to talk about it. I don't care if it's, guys, get so good at posting about your business that you could hold up Febreze and cry because you are so grateful that you went and bought some Febreze because I could write it about, I'm telling you, when I was talking about Tide, I was not joking. Name brand, laundry detergent, toothpaste, and razors are my favorite things ever, because those are things I want without. I have 1 minute left. I just have to tell you, because then I have to get on a Zoom.
Okay. So you and Mary Beth did a live Lattes and Leadership in the Lifers the other day, and you talked about a conversation that you had with Christy in Costa Rica. And my last question was like, really just speaking to the people that had once reached a mountaintop and then fell through a valley, and now they're working back towards that mountaintop. And you had said something about a conversation that you had with Christy about your 2.0 accounts and how she said, I just never stopped. And I had a light bulb moment myself, and I would love for you to just end with that.
I mean, kind of like I told you guys before about how I really just let it get into my head. So you guys, when I got my 2.0, I got that in 2015. I went double diamond in 2 months. I'm so good at this business. You guys are so good at this business if you just did the things that you knew to do and you just kept doing it. It's the consistency that literally is all of it. Is just do the good things, but don't do it just when you feel like it, and don't do it just for a month. You've got to just keep doing it, okay? And so I let it get into my head so much that I was a mom and that I couldn't do it and all this stuff, and how was I going to do it again? I'm so tired. I'm so this and so that. And so I never stopped working I never stopped working. I just worked in other places, just not specifically my 2.0. And I asked Christy, how the hell are you Presidential Diamond? And she said, well, the times that you were like bebopping over here and a little bit over there and messing with this and that, I just kept doing that one thing, and now it's where it's at, and so she's probably going to go double ambassador this month too. And so and that was just a big aha moment for me. And now, like I said, here I am, and I made that decision in December. And now I've got one brand spanking new diamond, another one that's going diamond this month. We're going to have 2 new diamonds next month, and I'm probably going to go triple, because I just kept doing that. It's truly, you guys, just do the steps and be consistent. Do the steps. Find your pace, find your oomph, give it oomph. Don't even get a little bit, because you got to just suck it up. You're not a baby. Give it some oomph. I give you permission to give it as much oomph as you can. Get some sleep. Do the things with your spouse so they shut up and they're happy. Be a good mom, and just be consistent. And I'm telling you, and just do it. Do it for 6 months. And you're going to be like, what have I been doing? Why this whole entire time? I could have just been doing that. Just consistent. and you're never going to know how it's going to evolve into more. That's just the magic of it all. Just trust. You just have to trust, suck it up, and you just got to do it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. You guys drop a thank you, drop some hearts in the chat for Jade right now. Jade, I know you have to go to another Zoom.
Yep.
We appreciate you so much. We appreciate you.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much for taking the time for us tonight.
Okay.
All
Thanks.
right. Bye, Jade.
Bye.